Hi YouTube, welcome back to another knife review. Today we're taking a look at the Kershaw hops. There you can see the model number. And this is made by Kershaw, but designed by Gus Cecchini or GTC Knives. Box comes with a little pamphlet. I think it just has other models and probably some warranty information. Here's the knife itself. First we'll go over some specs and features. So some measurements. It is 4.75 inch overall length, 1.875 inch blade, 2.875 inch handle length, blade thickness is 0.1 inches, and handle thickness is 0.38 inches. It is a drop point blade with a flat grind and a plain edge. And there you can see the steel 8CR 13 MOV, made in China, and the model number and GTC design. Handle scales are made out of stainless steel, and it is a frame lock. Pocket clip is tip up, left or right hand carry. Total weight is 3.1 ounces, and it has a flipper as the opener, which includes a bottle opener, and as you can tell, it is spring assisted with Kershaw's speed safe technology, or however they like to describe it. And it has a lanyard hole back there on the back. So now into some of the kind of the appearance of the knife. Kind of the design. It's pretty much based off of the micro BOF, or the bottle opener flipper, or bottle opening flipper from GTC. He made versions with titanium handle scales, I think 154 cm blade. The blade was a little smaller, 1.75 inches, but other than that, all the measurements seem about the same. The weight was lighter because it had titanium scales, but the thicker titanium still weighed less than this stainless steel, and it was not assisted. It was just, I'm assuming it was on bearings and just had a detent so you could flip it out. But the appearance, here is the pocket clip. Kind of got a blue polished coating on there, and the spacers. It's got all black hardware. The blade is actually PVD coated. It kind of just looks like a bead blast finish, but I guess it's actually coated with something. Don't know how strong it is, but it should help that 8CR13 from rusting. And also, some of these little reliefs in the handle scales. That gray is also that PVD coating, I think. All around the edges is also gray. And then you have satin flats for the handle, little satin flats right there for the blade. And other than that, black hardware, and I think that's pretty much it for the design. There's not much to go over because of how small it is. Some of the good things about it, I like the size. It is really small. There you can see it in my hand. Pretty much can disappear in it. Very futuristic looking. A lot of Gus Cecchini's knives are very geometric, very futuristic looking, kind of a lot more angular, pointy than most other makers. So there you can see the kind of futuristic look in all of his designs, in the reliefs and everything. Also, I think that flipper tab kind of makes it look a little more futuristic. Very cool little design. I always loved the custom design when I saw it. The speed safe really isn't too bad. I'm not a fan of speed safe. It kind of annoys me, especially when they come out with a really cool design and then they throw speed safe on it, and then I don't pick it up because this is actually my first speed safe knife. But since it is so small, I wouldn't really trust them making this just a ball bearing flipper. I just think they would kind of mess up the detent, not make it strong enough, or maybe make it too strong. And with a knife this small, you kind of have to have it right so that you can just barely grip onto it and get it to flip out. So with that speed safe there, it's a lot easier to just press on the blade like a button and have it fly out. Quality control is pretty good. Haven't noticed any problems with it. You can see the blade centering might be a little off. I don't think it was when I got it, but just after opening it like 1,000 times, closing it and everything, might have wiggled off center a little bit, but let me close it back up and open it. Lockup seems to be pretty good. Kind of have a little bit of a wiggle, but really not blade play or anything. On to some of the bads. So I still don't like the speed safe. I'd much rather have Gus's design on his original one, where it was just a regular flipper. I think I watched videos of him flipping it out, or maybe just other people that own one flipping it out, and they seem to do fine with it. So if Kershaw could have done a good job, I would have rather had just bearings and a regular flipper, but they went with speed safe. I think that was just the cheap and easy way to do it. Kind of annoying, but at least it works and it's not too horrible. Disengaging the lock, you've probably noticed a couple times I've slipped off of it, so I kind of just have to put my thumbnail up into it to get it to disengage. It's not very big. There's not much room in there. I'll show the lockup real quick. A little hard to see. About 50%, I think. But kind of hard to get my finger in there. On the custom, he would have had thicker scales and probably little thumb reliefs in there so you can get in easier. But with this being so thin, makes it a little harder to get into. Also, the pocket clip. This is a little different than his custom design. I believe his custom has kind of this thing where it's a really flat pocket clip, so it just sits back here and goes really flat, but has a little ramp at the end where you can get it up into your pocket, and then it'll flex enough to slide in your pocket all the way. But this one's just kind of a normal Kershaw clip, but a lot smaller. It only takes about half the knife, and next to just like a Spyderco clip, which is almost the whole handle length of this knife. It's definitely pretty small, kind of hard to get into the pocket. If you have thick jeans, it might not even fit, but mine have seemed to work fine. It's just a little harder to get in than it should be. Also, there's a little bit of a sharp spot right there on that point. You can kind of hear that. And all around here is a little sharp, so if they could have knocked that off, it would have been a little better. Hasn't really bothered me too much, but it is something I noticed about the ergonomics. In the hand, it does feel pretty good. You don't really notice those hot spots. You don't really notice the clip in there either because it is so small. Now for some comparisons. Here's the normal one that pretty much everybody's handled at Paramilitary 2, so we got right there about pivot to pivot, and you can see it's about half the length of the handle. Blade length is about half of the Paramilitary 2. Thickness, way thinner, especially the blade steel. Let's see if I can focus. There we go. Yeah, blade steel is a lot thinner, handle is a lot thinner. There's those pocket clips again. So, very small knife. And another comparison with another Gus Cecchini knife. Also by Kai, but from the Zero Tolerance line. So there you can see, kind of similar in design. Plain gray handle, one being titanium because it's more expensive, the other one being steel. But you can see his angular, kind of futuristic looking design in this, and it carries over to this, so it is a nice little companion to it. Guess I'll show thickness to those also. Very different handle and blade thickness. and kind of my final recommendations. It's definitely a cheap knife, and you know what you're getting into when you buy it. I think it was about $16 when I bought it, because it's on sale right now on Blade HQ. It's also on sale on GP Knives, but for a little more, I think like $19. They are discontinued, so if you're going to get one, you should get it now, because they might be sold out and then they're not going to get any more in stock. But even if it was $30 like the original price, I think it's still worth it for that. $16 was definitely just too good of a deal to give up, especially when it matches my other GTC design. I'd get it more as a novelty item than an EDC. I don't think it'd be very good to carry every single day. The blade's not very thick. It's 8CR13, so if you use it every day, you're going to have to sharpen it. Can't really get a full grip onto it, so wouldn't be very comfortable if you have to cut a lot of stuff. And kind of just way too small for me. But if you want to throw it in your fifth pocket or throw it in your coat pocket or something and carry a little backup blade, I don't think it's a bad idea. Especially for a little $15 knife, if maybe you have to do something that you don't want to do to your nice knife, like, I don't know, prying something or scratching something off. You might not want to ruin your good knife, so you can pull out your cheap backup and use that. And I have used it. I took it to work, carried it for a day, cut some stuff, cut a box, cut some tape, and it came pretty sharp. Definitely good for Kershaw. So definitely slices. I don't know how long it would stay sharp like that, because 8CR is definitely not the best steel, but it's pretty easy to sharpen back up if you need to. So if you want to use it every day, you can. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Don't forget to check out some of the other videos on my channel. I have a couple more knives coming, so I'll be doing more reviews soon. So be on the lookout for those. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.